Hello, mathematicians. Here is long division homework number 2. 423 divided by 5. I'm thinking groups of 5, groups of 5, groups of 5. You cannot make any groups of 5 from 4, but you can make groups of 5 from 42. You can make 8 groups of 5. Multiply 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract, bring down. How many groups of 5 can we make from 23? We can make 4 groups of 5. Multiply 4 times 5 is 20. Subtract. There's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. 84, remainder 3. Let's do the one right next door. 855 divided by 3. Thinking groups of 3, groups of 3, groups of 3. How many groups of 3 can I make from 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can make 2 groups of 3. Multiply 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract, bring down. So we're dividing into groups of 3 chunk by chunk. So now let's divide 25 into groups of 3. How many groups of 3 can we make from 25? You could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I could make 8 groups of 3. 8 times 3 is 24. That was as close as we could get to 25 without going over. Subtract, bring down. Groups of 3 with that final 15. I can make some more groups of 3 with that final 15. I can make 5 groups of 3. Multiply 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract. There's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. This one worked out perfectly. No remainder. 285. Down below, 307 divided by 8. Groups of 8. You cannot make a group of 8 from 3. 8 is bigger than 3. But you can make a group of 8 or a couple groups of 8 from 30. You can make 3 groups of 8. Multiply 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract. Bring down. So we've made 30 groups of 8. I don't know if you see where that 30 is. There's a 3 in the tens place. But that leaves us with 67 more, let's say, cookies. I can still make groups of 8 from 67. I can make 8 groups of 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm... Yeah, 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract. There's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. 38. Remainder 3. The last one on the page, 999 divided by 4. So we're thinking groups of 4, groups of 4. How many groups of 4 can I make from 9? I can make 2 groups of 4. Imagine 9 kids. If your teacher said, split up into groups of 4, you can make 2 groups of 4. Multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract. Bring down. How many groups of 4 can I make from 19? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's as close as I can get. 4 groups of 4. If you know your facts of 4, you know that 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract. Bring down. So we're down to our final 39. I can make some groups of 3 from 39. Let's see, 4 times 10 is 40. That's too much, so it's got to be 4 times 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Subtract. There's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. 249 with 3 left over. On to the back. 652 divided by 2, groups of 2. How many groups of 2 fit into 6? I can do 3 groups of 2. Multiply 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract, bring down. How many groups of 2 can I make from 5? I can make 2 groups of 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract, bring down. So we're down to our final 12. I can make some groups of 3. I'm sorry, groups of 2 from 12. How many groups of 2 can I make from 12? I can make 6 groups of 2. 6 times 2 is exactly 12. Subtract, there's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. 326, there's nothing left over. Number 7, 476 divided by 5. Groups of 5, groups of 5, groups of 5. Can you tell this one will have a remainder? The number 476, it ends in a 6. It would have to end in a 0 or a 5 if we're dividing by 5 for it to work out perfectly. This one's going to have a remainder. Okay, 5 cannot go into 4, but 5 can go into 47. 9 times. Multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. Subtract, bring down. 5 can go into 26 5 times. Multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract. There's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. Okay, the final 2 on the page. 6,257 divided by 4. This is not any harder. You just have to go through the process one more time. All right, 4 can go into 6. I'm thinking groups of 4. 1 time. Multiply. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract. Bring down. Again, I'm thinking groups of 4. So we're dividing this 6,000 number into groups of 4, chunk by chunk. All right, so now we're looking at 22. How many groups of 4 can we make from 22? We can make 5 groups. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract. Bring down. We still have to make some more groups of 4. We still have leftovers. How many groups of 4 can we make from 25? We can make 6 groups of 4 because 6 times 4 is 24. We needed to get as close to 25 as possible. Subtract, bring down. So we've divided groups of 4, groups of 4, groups of 4, groups of 4, groups of 4. We have 17 left. We can still make some groups of 4. 4 goes into 17 4 times, because 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract, there's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. 1,564 with 1 left over. And the last one on the page, 4,096 divided by 3. Groups of 3. 3 goes into 4. If you had 4 kids, you could make a group of 3. You could make 1 group of 3. Multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract. Bring down. So we're dividing into groups of 3 chunk by chunk. This next chunk that we need to divide into groups of 3 is the number 10. Can you make groups of 3 from the number 10? Yeah, you can make 3 groups of 3. That's our division step. Multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract. Bring down. Let's divide this new chunk into groups of 3. How many groups of 3 can we make from 19? We can make 6 groups of 3. Because I know my facts of 3, and I know that 6 times 3 is 18. We wanted to get as close to 19 as possible. So 6 groups of 3 is 18. Subtract. Bring down. We are down to our final 16. And we can divide that into a couple groups of 3. How many groups of 3 can we make from 16? We can make 5 groups of 3. 5 times 3 is subtract. There's nothing to bring down. That's when you know you're done. 1,365 with 1 left over. Here are the answers for the first page. Here are the answers for the second page. I'm going to make all of this, whoops, a different color. There we go. All right. And the answers to the last page. All right, kids, I will see you in class.